114 counties in Kentucky recorded at least one positive case before Bell County. Sitting on the border of Tennessee and Virginia, Bell County maintained a low number of cases through the first 3 months of the pandemic. But that has changed. Now the judge executive is pushing a simple message. If you want to rebound from the pandemic, wear a mask. LEX 18's Conroy DeLuche has tonight's edition of The Rebound Kentucky.
The heart of Middlesboro is located just outside of Cumberland Gap National Park. It's one of the most beautiful areas of the country, and it's also where 3 different states meet: Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia.
At the beginning of the pandemic.
And good evening, it is 106.3 FM, Brian O'Brien here.
Brian O'Brien was hosting nightly updates on his radio station, 106.3 FM, The Big One, which is based in Pineville, but reaches an audience in 3 different states.
Virginia is reporting probable cases. Tennessee has now started reporting probable cases. Then they've got pending cases. And then Kentucky reports completely differently.
You had that big shock factor, man. I mean, that nobody knew what to do. We were all scrambling.
For several weeks, Bell County Judge Executive Albie Brock was a regular guest on the show, keeping people informed on COVID-19. But during that first influx of cases in Kentucky, Bell County was mostly spared.
We didn't have case forever. We were one of the last 6 counties in the state to have a case, and based on population, we were by far number 1.
As restrictions lifted in May, stores reopened and restaurants welcomed diners inside once again, a big help to local workers.
All of us depend on our checks. I go to LMU, so it's a big impact on me financially if we don't get to work.
June was somewhat of a return to normalcy, and as the calendar turned to July, the total number of cases in Bell County hovered just around a dozen. But after the holiday weekend, that changed.
Last Wednesday, we had an explosion. I mean, pure and simple. It just exploded here. We've surged 90 cases plus in a 10-day time period.
And that's why Judge Brock returned to the airwaves with a passionate plea: just wear a mask.
And, this in a time of a worldwide pandemic has all of a sudden become this divisive thing that we're beating on each other over. This is the one thing we each can do to help control this. It's just wear the mask. It's common sense. It's going to help you. This is not about politics at all.
Since the governor's mandate went into effect last Friday, government buildings and businesses across town, like SOST, have posted signs out front to remind customers to mask up.
When they come in, if they don't have a mask on, we meet them at the door and we let them know that we do need you to wear a mask if you come in.
There are reminders across the restaurant to keep a safe distance. Lids and paper plates have moved behind the counter.
Now, as you can see, we've relocated it over here so that the SOST staff can reach it to the customer.
SOST first opened its doors on South Pine Street in 2017, part of a growing business scene in downtown Pineville.
We're blessed. We just got approved, you might have saw on the news, for a grant. We're going to bury all the lines, take all the poles, all that stuff down.
Judge Brock hopes to keep the storefronts occupied and thriving, but until there's a vaccine or cure for COVID-19.
If it weren't for me doing this interview and us being 6 feet apart, I'd have my mask on.
He's going to encourage all of Bell County to wear a mask.
We're going to continue to be able to be open, stay open, and continue to open. This is going to have to be a tool in that.
In Bell County, Conroy DeLuche, LEX 18 News.